Box to Box NBA Preview, hosted by Ndegz.
In 23rd place are the New Orleans Pelicans. The New Orleans Pelicans. Apparently that's how you're supposed to say it. New Orleans. My name is Ndegz. This is my NBA season preview. This was supposed to come out before the season started, but obviously things happened. Rugby World Cup, all these things. But I committed to it, and I did research on all 30 teams, and I am still going to bring it to you straight raw. When I did my research, some things happened. Between doing research and me shooting, obviously things happen, and this is one of the teams that has been affected. So I'm just gonna go through that as well. So getting into the Pelicans, 22-23 season, they had a 42-40 record, 9th in the West. They started the season well. They were one of the top teams in the West, and then obviously they lost Zion to a hamstring injury in the beginning of 2023. Looked a bit innocuous, became a bit serious, then he had to be shut down. Missed the rest of the season. Ingram had a big toe injury, not an injury to his big toe, but it was a big toe injury. So ended up making the play-in. They lost to OKC, 10th place. Zion was actually fit for that playing game, but they opted not to play him, which just raised concern about his fitness, because it was like, why are you not playing if you're fit? But then again, it's Zion. Like, he's a big risk. Unless it's 100, and 10 and 100%, it's not worth it, right? During the season, they tried getting OG Anunoby, but Masai Ujiri, Masai, the Raptors president of basketball operations, was just, some of the things that were affected severely is they averaged 114.4 points per game. They went from a top 5 offense to the 13th best offense in the league after Zion's and Brandon Ingram's injuries. So they have tried to do some moves just to make sure if these injuries happen, they're not dropping that deep. And this is what they have done. In the off season, they have acquired Cody Zeller, they have acquired Jordan Hawkins, and Herbert Jones on a 4-year, $53.8 million. Actually, that's more of an extension. And then EJ Liddell as well joins the Pelicans. Players they've lost: Jackson Hayes, Josh Richardson, Garrett Temple, and Willie Hanangames. They only had one draft pick with the 14th pick. That was Jordan Hawkins, who addresses a place of need. They needed a shooter to space the floor. He was one of the best 3-point marksmen in this class, this draft class. And if you guys haven't seen him, like, his release is mad. It's mad quick. Players on expiring contracts: Jonas Valanciunas, he's on 15.4 mil. That is wild. Kira Lewis Jr. is on 5.7 mil. Cody Zeller is on the minimum, who they just acquired on a 1-year deal. And Najee Marshall. Earlier on, I had said teams were affected. In between me doing research and actually doing this preview, this is one of the teams. One of the big news coming out of the Pelicans is that CJ McCollum had a collapsed lung. Mad. Like, that's actually very insane to hear. But in our rotation, he's out indefinitely, so we don't know how long he's gonna be out for. So at point guard, it was CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram at shooting guard. Then small forward was Herbert Jones, power forward Zion Williamson, and center Jonas Valanciunas. We expect the likes of Herbert Jones to be playing a lot more, seeing that Zion and BI can really stay fit, right? Jose Alvarado, the guy who steals from everyone, like, he's a thief in the night, but he's not been fit for the start of the season. Should be back soon. Dyson Daniels, Trey Murphy III, Najee Marshall. They still have Larry Nance Jr., Kieran Lewis, as we just mentioned. They got Cody Zeller. They had Jordan Hawkins, who I believe is going to get a lot of playtime, and Matt Ryan, not their former Arsenal goalkeeper, but the man who joined the Pelicans. Big question I have for the Pelicans is, so for sure we know Zion and BI are going to miss games. They've already missed a bunch of games, right? How much can they stay afloat when these two missed games, right? So one of the biggest issues they had last year is that, as I said earlier, they averaged 114.4 points per game, and they had a top 5 offense in the league, and it dropped all the way to 13 when Zion and Ingram went down. The overall scoring just hovered in the middle of the park, so they need to get that up. They were 14th in three-point efficiency at 36.4%. Their shooting, free throw average, and free throw percentage was just within the top 10. But this is where I feel like they need to improve. They need to make more threes. They were 24th in the league, making 10.9 threes per game. So their efficiency needs to go a bit higher and they need to make a bit more threes. And I believe this is going to help them even in those non-Zion, non-BI minutes. And I feel like they try to address that by drafting Jordan Hawkins, who was again one of the best shooters from the draft. So yeah, I'm curious to see how they can stay afloat without Zion and BI in the team. And now that CJ is also going through what he's going through, like how can they sustain a level of play that is at least going to keep them within the playoffs playing bracket. 24-second shot clock. I have the Pelicans in around the 11th, 12th place in the West. I still believe that BI and Zion are going to get injured. We've already seen that happen, and they're really going to suffer when those two are not on the floor. So I am going with the Pelicans getting about 40 wins, but they will still just hover around that 12th area because the other teams in the West are just way better. And with that, we are done with the New Orleans Pelicans. Next up on our list is a team from the West again, in 22nd place. Stay tuned to find out who that is.
Ready for the ultimate slam dunk of content? Don't miss out on any of our NBA previews. Hit subscribe and be the MVP of your basketball knowledge game.